I've been rethinking a lot of areas in my life because I just have been craving more and more simplicity. And for some reason, simple living goes together with frugal living. And I want to share some things with you today that have helped me a lot. Hi, and welcome to today's video. In case you don't know me yet, my name is Freya and I'm an aspiring minimalist, always trying to find ways to simplify life and to stay healthy in the process as long as possible. Let's get started with some things that have helped me a lot to simplify my life and that have saved me a lot of money also in the process. I try to buy seasonally and also locally or regionally. I am very blessed to live in an area that is very country, it's rural, and so we have a lot of farmers here. There are a lot of farmers markets, and first of all, I love supporting those here around this area. Also, I know how they raise their animals, how they raise their chickens that lay the eggs that we then eat. I know that they don't use a lot of pesticides because you can actually go there physically and see how the produce looks when it's growing out there in the field. Some of the food may be more expensive, but really, that really applies to meat. When it comes to produce, anything that's fruit or vegetables, if you buy locally and also just seasonally, then whatever is in season is going to be the cheapest just because of the fact that it doesn't have to be shipped from anywhere far away. And I try as much as possible to just consume those things that grow in my area at this time. And of course, it's easy in the summer, in the spring, in the summer, in the fall, into the winter a little bit. And then of course, in the winter, there are a few things we have to buy that we don't really get here locally. But it's really about minimizing. It's about just trying to do better than I did before. And I do still buy avocados, I still buy oranges, and they don't just grow in Germany. But I also try to eat a lot of cabbage and Brussels sprouts. There are kinds of lettuce that actually grow here. I also try to use from nature whatever I can. There are things that grow for free out there, like rose hips and some leaves, some herbs that grow out there. And so there's a lot you can use up that doesn't cost you anything. The second thing that has made a profound difference in my house and in my life is just making my own cleaners. And just in case you don't know how to make your own cleaners, I made a video. I will put the link here. You can check it out. I just kind of show you all the ingredients that I have, and out of those I can make anything for anything and everything I need to clean around the house and in the car and really anything we need. And first of all, it avoids a lot of clutter when you don't buy a lot of specialty products. Also, the harsh chemicals, I don't like them. I'm very sensitive to them right now. I have gotten very sensitive to them. And then of course also you save a lot of money by just using some simple ingredients that you can find in your house, most likely right now. And so really saving money, being frugal, and being simple. And of course, it's better on the environment. The next thing, and of course I've talked about this a lot, is simplifying your wardrobe. Since I've been simplifying my wardrobe, I don't know, I'm just so happy. I just recently for Christmas splurged a little bit and bought myself a wonderful, beautiful to me knit jacket, like a cardigan. And I thought about it for a long time, and I decided to go ahead and get it. And then of course, at the same time, get rid of another item that I don't need, that this needs to replace. And I love moving toward more natural fibers. So actual 100% wool or cotton. Those are the ones I like the most. In the winter, wool is amazing. Of course, it's a natural fiber, and if sheep can keep themselves warm in the winter, it surely does keep me warm. But I've simplified so much, and I really only have in my wardrobe now things that I absolutely love. There's nothing I don't wear a lot. So all the things I have, I wear a lot, and I just don't know. There's not a thing that I have a bad feeling about, like, oh, this was so expensive and I never wore it. If I don't wear it, then I just donate it or I get rid of it. If it's something that was expensive, oh well, maybe I can make someone else happy. That is just my philosophy nowadays. The next huge point that has changed my life profoundly is to simplify finances. I just feel that when you get a good grip on paperwork in general, and when you start paying your bills on time because you have automated a lot, and you also start saving a lot on autopilot, you start investing on autopilot, however much or little you have available that is extra, simplifying your finances by just reducing your commitments and getting rid of all debt, of course. I just don't know. I sleep a lot better these days because I have a cushion and I don't have any debt, and I also have simplified it. I don't have to think about my finances a lot. The only thing that I do, and that is a lot of fun, is actually to take a look at my apps, that are connected to my accounts, and I see my savings go up and up. That is a lot of fun. It's almost like a game. And that gives me a lot of peace of mind, and I can't stress it enough. If you feel you're overwhelmed, I think part of the overwhelm often comes from not having mastered all your paperwork, or maybe you're a very organized person, but you just don't even know where to start because the money hasn't come in. And so how can you pay a bill if the money hasn't even come in and you're waiting for the money to come in? I've been there. But really slowly, step by step, simplifying everything and getting rid of commitments that you have. Maybe you don't need a new car. You don't really need a new house. We live in a house that's 100 years old. And of course, in Germany, everything is extremely expensive. And the area where we live, houses are very expensive. But I'm just very grateful for what I have. We could upgrade, but it's not worth it to me. Really, we live in a good place right now. And so I always have to think about, what am I going to have to sacrifice? Do I have to sacrifice any peace of mind in order to get like an upgrade in any area of my life? So really simplifying my finances to where I feel there's always headroom and everything's automated, and I don't have to worry about being able to pay the bills because they come out first, and my savings come out first, and my investments come out first, and then whatever's left, that's what I have to live on. Now, granted, I know not everyone has enough to even cover, but you want to be smart. You want to live below your means. And the minimalist way of life is so awesome because you just learn to be happy with less. And that is amazing because it makes it a lot easier to just not feel deprived of anything. And you just spend less money and it's okay for you. And of course, minimizing your commitments also goes for time commitments. The next thing that I think is the most amazing activity that is free, that doesn't cost anything, that is also really healthy, can't do anything better than that, is to get outside. If you have known me for any length of time, you know that I love nature. I love going outside. I love the forest. I just love being out there in nature, and just it overwhelms me because it's beautiful and everything lives in harmony. Like even the little disharmonies, there is a purpose in everything that happens in nature. That calms me, and to me, it makes me appreciate my life because it always makes me realize it's not worth it to sweat the small stuff, because in the big grand picture of everything, it doesn't really matter. So why should I worry about some things that aren't going to matter long term? It really calms me to go outside. It's free. You can meditate. There are things you can do. They're free. They're simple. And I just don't think a human being needs a lot to be happy. We always think we need all these complicated things, but I think it's quite simple. We need our relationships, our people that we can rely on and whom we love. We need to have a feeling of safety. That has a lot to do with finances. And we need to be healthy. We need to feel good in our own skin and our body. And I think, food and drink and a roof above our head and a bed to lie down and a pillow to rest my head on, it's not extremely complicated. Those are simple things. And I think having the frugal and a minimalist lifestyle really helps you. It makes it a lot easier to be happy because you realize all those fluffy things. You always want more and more. It's not going to make you happier to have more. On the contrary, to get into this mindset of, if I have less, it actually makes me a lot more happy because it's less complicated and it's just simple. That is amazing. The next thing is to create a routine. My routines change all the time, but there are certain things that always happen. The order in which I do things it changes all the time. But sometimes I work out first thing in the morning, and sometimes it really depends on the weather a lot, because I do like to go outside when the weather's really bad in the winter and the sun doesn't rise until like 8:30. I may do my workout early, like at 6 o'clock in the morning right here at home inside. But if it's a beautiful day like today, actually after I get through shooting this video, I'm gonna go right outside and I'm gonna go for a nice long walk. I did my workout this morning, but now it turned out to be a beautiful day. Now I'm gonna go outside for at least half an hour or an hour, and I'm gonna walk my dog. It's gonna be amazing. And so while my routine changes all the time, like when I do what, I still always do the same things. I do go outside, I do work out. I sometimes do intermittent fasting, I sometimes don't, but pretty much, we have our lunchtime, we have our routine, we have our dinner time routine, we have our bedtime routine, I have my skincare routine. So it's almost like creating little routines or little procedures that you then can combine in any way that works for you, depending on the season of life, season of year, and maybe location, whether you're on vacation or at home, you might have a different routine, but there are things that you always keep with you. And I think it's really cool to have those routines, those micro routines, as I call them. It's just like this little thing, the way you go about dinner or the way you go about working out. It's a really good feeling in your mind to know that you already know what you're gonna do. And lastly, this is probably the hardest to get to, is to schedule screen-free time. Screen-free time, it's hard to get. Really cutting everything off and just daring to not be reachable, just to be outside. And people know that about me nowadays, that I just have some non-negotiables when I say, I have some team members in my team, but then there are times when I'm just to myself, I have to tell myself, you're gonna turn it all off. No notifications, unless it's a life and death emergency, no one can reach me. I'm just gonna be with my family, or sometimes I'm gonna be on my own. When I go outside, I just turn it all off sometimes. And sometimes only for an hour, sometimes for an entire day, or for an entire weekend, or that is one of my goals that I haven't reached yet. I want to get to the point to where I can unplug completely for a week and go on vacation, be gone, and detox myself from all the tech. I crave it, and I greatly believe that I can do it in 2021 because I have some amazing team members. Thank you all. You are amazing, and I think it's important for everyone to just turn everything off every once in a while and to be tech-free. Not only to be tech-free, but for me, part of my brain is always with my business and with very specific things. And it's hard to turn it off. And the only way to turn it off is to really decide, okay, turning it off, I'll tell everyone, I'm out for now. You can reach me at this time again. This is when I'll be back. And we work ahead of time, and then we try to take care of everything. That's my big goal for 2021. Longer periods of time to completely unplug. So I hope I could give you some ideas about simplifying your life. These things have totally helped me a lot, and I'm nowhere near where I would want to be. I love being on screens, and I actually love to be plugged in with everything, but that's something that I can tell when it gets too much, and I need to be even better about just giving myself those little islands to return to simplicity. Thank you so much for watching today. Let me know in the comments what areas of your life you feel completely overwhelmed with right now. What would you love to simplify so that you have more peace of mind? I would love to connect with you. I hope you have a wonderful week. Be blessed, and until next time, keep it just very simple.